with you all virtually. I have done my MBA with banking and finance and recently completed my MPhil in management. In the slides, you can see my work experiences in different industries at different positions. And friends, today's session of finance topic is mergers and acquisitions. So let's not waste our time. And if anywhere you get stuck or you do not understand, please be vocal and ask, okay? Don't hesitate. So the slides are visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So before starting, let's just understand the concept of mergers and acquisitions. We all know that whenever it comes with the decision of observing, analyzing, and finally going to the decision of investment, it is very important that we collect all the facts, all the resources, all the pros and cons of particular project and particular industry, if we are thinking of. And when it comes with the acquisition, and merging, all these two things are done whenever it's like understanding the concept that now it's high time that our investment needs to get increased, or we need to select a particular investment project or sector or industry, and we have to do that. So the decision of investing financially, decision of acquiring a company or getting merged with any of the company, and doing the financial crisis upholding of another country by getting merged or acquiring, it's very important that we understand the model of merging company and the model of acquisition company. So all these things are very important. So let's understand what is mergers. We actually even say merger models or acquisition model, but what's merging? Merging is like is an information intensive tool where we first what we do is we consider as a feasibility, we do the feasible study of that particular company, and we get amalgamated with that company. Means the investment of getting with the M&A professionals and understanding the concepts of with the feasible financial study of that particular company. So when it comes with the factor considerations, it's very important that we go with the synergies. Even our skills get merged, our knowledge gets merged, our investment gets merged, our sector gets merged, everything gets merged over there with the two steps. Is merging, vertically merging or horizontally merging. That depends on that particular sense. And intangible assets are also get merged. The methods of discharge of purchase consideration gets merged. So it's primarily used by investment brokers and understanding to carry out the losses of any of the company or our own company. Sometimes we get merged with another company, understanding that our company's factory site get outdated. So what happens over in the merging is company A is an acquiring company and company B is an acquired company. So when these two gets merged, which company holds the higher ratio of investment, higher ratio of synergy, knowledge, feasibility facts, goodwill is known the actual company then. So A and B getting merged doesn't become AB. It's which of the company is having a higher share value, higher investment value, financial stability value, that company gets as a known as after merging. So while doing merging, it's very important you compare the profilings of the company, you identify the targets, you see out the uh, market value status. It's like it's just not financial markets, outer market also. evaluating with that, and understanding the goodwill and the policy consideration of that company. Then only going for the merging. So in the merging, everything gets merged, but the ratio or the financial investment status and the ratio of whichever company is higher, after merging, the company is known with that particular company. So merging is clear to everyone. And now, when it comes with the acquisition is an action in which company buys most of another firm's, settles and assumes control over that company properly in the case. So the buying company purchases over 50% of the tricks and understanding with the determining of growth market service, identifying acquisition candidates, then access strategy financial positions, going with no decision or a go decision, conducting evaluations, performing due diligence, negotiations, implementations of transactions. So whenever it comes with the way of acquisition, it's completely is taking the charge of taking takeover of that company with the proper ways. Whether the ratio is lower or higher doesn't matter of financial threat, but you get acquired with that company. And after getting acquisition, come when company A and B is A is acquired to B or B acquires A, any of this ratio, whichever is higher, the company is known as the in the name of both the companies. It's unlike to the merging. In merging, whichever company has got in higher financial status, after merging, the company will be known by that way. But in acquisition, if A and B is getting merged, it doesn't matter how much of the ratio of the financial sticks are there, they mutually go with the common name, and that's company after merging is known as AB. Clear to everyone?
Ma'am,
So
can you
that
explain the last point?
last point is like you are talking about after merge acquiring, no?
And the difference which you said, explain the difference.
Okay, difference. In suppose in merging, what happens if a company A is getting merged with B or B is getting merged, right? Whichever company has higher financial status means investment ratio is whichever company has got higher share value is higher. After merging, the company, the new formed company will be known by the name of that company, right? If A has a higher, after merging, company is known as A. If a B is higher, after merging, company is known by the name of B. But in acquisition, when acquisition, what happens is whichever company has a higher sales ratio doesn't matter. Both company go with the proper acquiring position, and then the company is known with the AB. It's like if X and Y is getting merged, if X has a higher financial status value high, company will be known by the name of X. If X has higher, if Y is higher, company will be known by Y after merging. But in acquisition, what happens is the company goes with the proper acquiring ways, and they with the whoever has got higher investment ratio, share value, or financial status, the company after formation is known by the name of AB. It's not A or B, it's AB. Okay, clear?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. Then, what are the types of mergers and acquisition? There are four types actually: vertical, horizontal, conglomerates, and concentric. So when it's like when it is when a company is grouped based on a line of activity, business activity, they fall in the under the sexes of horizontal, vertical, and conglomerate, right? When it comes with the grouped based on a bead of controlling interest, is friendly, hostile, and balliquates. So all these things has to be very clearly understood. When it comes with the strategic transactions, acquisitions and mergers, the strategy, financial, reverse, downstream, upstream, defective cash flow, fund flow, uh, then short form, bulk, everything comes with that. So the mergers and acquisitions, when it is with the when it is with the horizontal, what happens over here, companies with similar product or services mostly get merged, right? And to expand their business or to expand the market share ratio in this, to change of the market and offerings of the market. When it when is vertical mergers or acquisition, companies in the same industry job their frame in improving logistic, consolidating staffs, reduces line and market lines and offering. Suppose same industries like bank gets merged with a bank, right? Bank does not go and merge with some import company. So bank and bank getting merged because they are in the same industry. Suppose take horizontal, if you take merger and acquisition example, company with a similar product like just an example, okay, like shampoo company getting merged and acquired with another shampoo company, like take example of Dove and Samsung getting merged or acquisition is done. It's just a hypothetical concept example for you guys, okay? Don't think that seriously Dove and Samsung is getting merged or anything. Maybe in future that can be. Now when it comes with the conglomerate ones, over here in this type of merger and acquisition, what happens is company mostly with the different industries and with the join of the faces with the goal, like what can be the example for these means the range of services and product, range of services and product, what it can be. Take an example of uh, mm, this edible oil, uh, parachute, right? Hair oil, edible oil, then after that they have so many things in that, then hand wash or face cream or whatever it, many things are there, right? So different sectors and different services has been getting merged and acquired in order in the conglomerate. When it comes with the concentric companies, mostly what do they say is with the different services on a basically of the maintaining the relationship. So concentric and conglomerate are basically a slight differences over there. So horizontal, vertical, conglomerate and concentric clear to everyone. And even mergers and acquisitions are done in the three motives. Basically these any sort of merger and acquisition is done for three motive success, and that might be they might be having some operative motives, financial motives, or strategic motive. When it is operative motive, it's like economy of scale, growth of market power, and economy of vertical inceptions. When it comes with the financial motive fulfillment, it's like with the advancement on capital market, capital shares, tax benefit, possibility of subsequent share value, venture values. And when it is done for the purpose of a strategic motive, is basically the profitable purchase of assets, access in insider access, and sale of recurrent asset. Means the assets which are not mostly used, but they are after that they are sold out, and then the fund is been collected. So any sort of merger or acquisition, they go with these three particular motives. Without having any of the motives of in these three, merger and acquisition is not going to happen. So it totally depends on the company's status, financial status, operating status, or strategic status when they are going to get merged and combined. So clear here? Till here any clear? Till here any confusion, guys?
Ma'am, hello.
Hello. Am I audible? Is my voice reachable to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, till here, any confusion?
Ma'am, can you please explain that a concentric, and conglomerate, that two things? Ma'am, horizontal, vertical, I understood, but that two are a bit confusing, ma'am.
Okay, I'll explain you again then. See, in conglomerate, no, what happens is you can see over here that companies in different industries join their focus with a goal to broaden their range of services and product. Like, take what can be the example? Mm, what can be the best example for this is like cosmetic industries mostly. Like, they are from uh, two different industries combinedly. Like, you can say a company which only produces nail paint. Take example, okay? Only nail paint. Another company which only produces, you can say, what it can be. Uh, any sort of cosmetic item, okay, like whether that is glycerin or whether that is rose water or leave-on. We'll take an example of leave-on. So many things in there, right? Shampoo they are launching off, and other things they are launching off, right? So what happens is they just want to broaden their range of services and product. This is just a basic example. If you go with the financial market example, you can take an life insurance, right? Getting increasing their just an example as life insurance is getting merged with the take an example of mutual fund company or any of the company which is uh, giving different insurances, vehicle insurance, then after product insurance, you can say traveling insurance, all these things. So they are in a conglomerate, two industries getting merged in the way of just to broaden their range of their services and product. Now is it clear?
Thank you, ma'am.
Now comes with the concentric. So companies share customers, or you can say breeze, but provides different services and do not have a mutual relationship. Means over here you have to understand what it is saying. Companies share customers bases but provide different services and do not have a mutual relationship. What it can be? The best example in the concentrics are two different companies are using same customers, but with the view that they are selling their own product by after getting merged in acquisition. Like take an example of medical. Okay, take an example of any medical company, a company which only produces the hand sanitizer, okay, and a company which only produces masks. Both company are using same customers. Are you getting my point now? They're different services to same customers, but with the framing of get after getting merged and acquired. Now is it clear? Am I able to make you satisfied with the example?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then now I hope you can go to next slide. Okay, now over here it will be more clear to you. See, in horizontal, two firms are supposed to be competing in the same business, same line of business activities, means leads to huge monopoly profits regulated by government for the negative effect on competition. Over here, in horizontal merger, two firms are supposed to be competing in the same line of business, they get merged. In vertical merger, merger of goods producing different products, it is also known as vertical foreclosure. You can see in this there is backward, there is forward, many things. Like if you say backward vertical merge, BPL with Uptom collar, picture in India. Forward vertical merger is Disney with the American Broadcasting Company, vertical merger, right? When it comes with the concentric merger of companies dealing with common expertise, the four expertise may be technological, managerial, or nature. Like example of merger between motorcycle and manufacturer and automobile manufacturers, right? Now with the example, it will more clear to you. Sarkar, right? Are you getting my point? Then conglomerate merge. In this merger is totally unrelated activities. They merge to reduce risk exposure. That is like example is their synergy in order to increase the market share synergy and cross selling. Example, best example is Walt Disney and American Broadcasting Company got merged. So conglomerate merger also is understandable to everyone, I hope. Especially Tilak. Are you clear with the example now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So over here also is just shown you to the example that vertical merger, what happens. The custom suppliers and textile and so it got merged, they formed one company. So a vertical merger is a merger between two or more entities who operates in the same industry. Okay. So with that is again example and all this clear with the mergers and acquisitions different pros. Like even you can see here that Oracle got merged with Resilience. Microsoft has even acquired Yamas. Even you can see which company acquired Satyam Computer was acquired by Tata, right? Satyam, why? Then Site Force with Radiance. So these companies are got acquired and merged with the companies whose share value or market value was higher. The company which Microsoft acquired, Yammer, is known as with the name of Yammer, but is known with the name of Microsoft now, right? Then example of C, vertical example also. Pictures and Disney got merged. Then in horizontal, you can say Lipton India got merged with Brook Bond. Both merged acquired. So what they decided was they will go with the same value of the name Brook Bond and Lipton. Then Bank of Mathura with ISI Bank. So all these are the examples shown to you in the screen for the vertical, horizontal, conglomerate, and concentric mergers. How many of you have heard the name of PwC? PwC,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, which it's an you can say a company which deals with the helps to the companies in order to their tax filings and audit company, right? PwC.
Financial consulting.
Yes, financial consulting basically. So that company got merged or acquired with the Cooper and Lieberns, but always it's known with the PwC, right? What they did was only the scene name of that Cooper was taken. So these are the examples of vertical, horizontal, conglomerate, and concentric. But why the mergers and acquisitions are done with the what benefit, what motive they have got? They benefit is they want to have a tax benefit. The synergy gets merged, means the energy, the knowledge, the skill, the abilities of the human resources also get merged. Financial resources get merged. Everything gets merged with the right. Then internal resources get merged. Discharge of surplus funds. There might be anything which is not happening properly got merged. So their risk was actually lower down after getting merged and acquired. So increase in administrative efficiencies, even you can say greater value generation, gaining cost efficiency, increase in market share, and gaining higher competitiveness. You can say it's like increasing the shareholders value, increasing the market share, letting your product have a restrictive uh, impact on the market in the industry, or you can say with a, even with the cost efficiency. Like if the companies are getting merged or acquired, what happens, the risk has been averted. Instead of only one particular company taking whole risk, what happened, their risk got divided. Now both the company will be in a phase of lowering down the risk. Tax benefit, how it is tax benefit, like you can say earlier two companies were paying the tax with the two different benefits, but now when they got merged and they when they got acquired, now their tax uh, paying and tax benefit also got eventually equalized, right? Now, who will be most impacted? Obviously, employees will be the first impacted because their everything changes out. Their boss changes out. Their working environment sometimes changes out. Rules and regulations changes out. Then the competitiveness which industry is having with another industry or the same industry changes out. Management changes out, impacted. Then shareholders get impacted. Investors gets impacted. Now, do why there should be merger and why there should not be. So, why merger is important? If you want, if any company wants to increase the market share, economic of scale, profit for research and development, benefits on accounts of tax shields like carried forward losses or unclaimed depreciations, reduction of competition, then it should go for the merge. But why not? If see why not? Like problems after with the mergers, class of corporate cultures, increased business complexity, employees may be resistant to change. And when it comes with the acquisition, why and why not? Why is important? Increased market shares, increased speed to market, lower risk comparing to develop new product, increased diversifications, avoid excessive competition. And why it, what are the problems that get arise during acquisition? Inadequate valuation of target, inability to achieve synergy, and finance by taking huge debt. So a reason, what are these are the two things like why and why not, right? For the merger and acquisitions. And but when it's mergers and acquisition, what happens? It becomes easy for increasing the share value, the promotional growth increases, you get the acquired valued assets for your saints, then leverage synergies, achieves vertical integrations, even the break into or buy their new product or launching new product or bringing out new service becomes easy. So why reasons for merging and acquisition? Obviously strategic benefit you get economics of scale, scope, vertical integration, complementary, tax sales, utilizations of surplus capital, diversification, synergies, and managerial effectiveness. So these are the reasons for merger and acquisition. And whenever merger and acquisition of any of the companies are done, it should be this decision of both the companies. without the interference of outer another company, right? So when two companies are getting merged, they should be having proper resources, proper information, proper fact readers, proper calculation and evaluation and observe and analysis of both the companies. What are the advantages of mergers and acquisition? Merger is legally simple and does not cost much. Merger does not require cash to get merged. Merger allows the shareholders of smaller entities to own a smaller piece of a larger pig, increasing their overall net worth. Merger allows the to acquire to avoid many of the costly and time consuming aspect of asset purchase, reducing your cost, overheads and competitions. What about disadvantages? Mergers must be approved by a vote of the shareholders of each firm. Obtaining the necessary vote can be time consuming and difficult. M&A activity is a relatively high risk of failure. Diseconomies of scales if business becomes too large, which leads to higher unit cost, are the advantages and disadvantages of mergers and acquisition. There are many more, and now you should understand the basic difference of merger and acquisition. Mergers, merging of two organizations into one. As I said, when two companies get merged, they are known in the one, but with the higher financial or investment sector. Buying one organization by another. Acquisition is buying and one organization by another. That is why whoever has got higher ratio is known as with that name. It is merging is a mutual decision. Acquisition is a friendly takeover or hostile takeover. Merger is an expensive than acquisition, higher legal cost is required, whereas acquisition is less expensive than merger. Through merger, shareholders can increase their net worth, but buyers in acquisition, buyers cannot raise their enough capital. Mergers, it is time consuming and the company has to maintain so much of legal issues, whereas in acquisition, it is faster and easier transactions. In merger, the ownership occurs with the both with the one, but in acquisition, the acquirer does not experience the dilution of ownership. Now, these are the steps how the mergers or acquisition. When you are thinking, you have to climb ladder by ladder. It's like not jumping. It should be everything has to be properly. There should be proper merging and acquisition strategy. There should be proper merging and acquisition offers, selecting a proper target, planning, evaluating and analyzing, negotiation properly, then the diligence, practice, financing, and implementation should be very proper. So, typical steps in the acquisition process company means you need to have a determination of acquisitions criteria, then identifying and evaluating of potential partners, approaching to potential partners, and executions completion of transaction. So M&A process mostly with the planning, marketing, completion, negotiation, screening, selecting, all these has to be followed properly. So acquisition process have got altogether five, you can say six. First, you need to have a requirements of definition. Why? Then there should be a strategy for acquisitions. There should be request for proposal. Evaluation phase has to be completed. Then all the alternate one with without discussions and with discussions, it depends on the companies. Then contract awards and post awards should be calculated. When it comes with the merger and acquisition, post acquisition integration, you all know that the synergy gets merged, the strategy gets merged, the context gets merged, and integral parts gets merged. So while going for the merging and acquisitions, management capability, HR process, key stakeholders, power stakeholders, personal and corporate value, managing interpersonal relationships, language, decision making process, but then conflict resolution and resistance to change. These all has to be properly calculated and evaluated. The business acquisition process should be feasible, agree and properly dealt. Funding should be, all this should be cleared, completions and post deal. You can see over here that the merge and after getting merged, both the company can show the capital value or the net worth of in a higher range. But in acquisition, that is not possible. In acquisition, whoever has got higher financial value will only be shown. Over here, just take an example that suppose assumptions that acquire business 100% of target by issuing additional stock to purchase target shares. No premium is offered above to target current share prices. So how you do it? It's like with the acquisitions and mergers and acquisition motivation. If you see over here, you can see that earning per share value and earning per share value of the shares had been increased, whereas in the mergers acquisition set of CA to pay 35 per share to company B to be paid for any stocks. So these their share values also increases, share capital of gets increased, and the earning per share for the next year also should be calculated. So cost per acquisition formula is CPA equals to total amount spent by total attributed consumption. What does it mean? It means total amount spent means the total amount of money used on a marketing activity that is running of ad and campaigns. Then acquisition action conversion means any action that is being measured. It might be sale or sign up. Total attributed conversion is the total amount of conversion which were attributed in this activity. Conversions usually have multiple chases to someone. So this much for today's session, merger and acquisition. Any question to ask, any query to be asked? I hope Tilak, everything clear to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ankush, Rishita. Okay, so
Yes,
basically
ma'am. Everything is
in
okay.
in financial in finance, whenever it is merger and acquisition, the depth study of the next company with whom you are getting merged or with whom to whom you are acquiring or taking doing a takeover, all the details has to be clearly observed, analyzed, forecasted, and then only go for the investment decision. So random decisions should not be done. How much feasible it is, that has to be calculated properly. So thank you so much for the session. I hope I was able to make you clear about merger and acquisitions. Any question is a request to you. Please come up with.
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much again. Then see you again. Have a good weekend and enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.